All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about the four worst exercises in my mind that you should get rid of or never do. And this is, I can already tell there's going to be people in the comments saying, oh, I love that exercise, or that's a great exercise, blah, 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 blah. Like, my video, my channel, so suck it. Anyways, the first one is flies. I don't like dumbbell flies. Now, I like cable flies, but I don't like dumbbell flies. And the reason is because, with the cable flies, you're kind of keeping your arms here and you're bringing all the tension, like that. But dumbbell flies, you're laying down, and so all that tension is pulling your arm further back, to where it's no longer stretching your chest, but it's stretching your bicep. So once you get to this point, you're really not, activating your chest too much. You're not stretching your chest and activating it too much. You're now stretching your bicep by having to pull, that weight back in. And when you do that, especially if you're using heavy weights, even if you have your elbows bent and wrists bent and everything, stuff like that, you're still having all that weight kind of just, doing like that. And I'm telling you, use big heavy weights like that, you might seriously hurt your elbows. Seriously. So I don't like flies. That's my biggest exercise that I do not like. The next one, I used to do these all the time until I hurt myself. So, learn from your lessons or learn from my lessons, learn from other people's lessons, is behind the neck shoulder presses. Now I do military presses, so that's in front of your face. But when you're doing a military press, you have the weight right here, and this is a good fluid movement. And it kind of goes in line with what your shoulder, your little shoulder socket joint, whatever you want to call it, right there, can do. Whereas if you go behind your head, well, one, you're already having to push your kind of head down and out of the way. But when you do that, your shoulder blades and everything and your ball like that, it's already kind of blocking it. So now you're having to kind of go back and push it further back. And your body's not really meant to do that. Like, you can do it, but you run a real risk of hurting shoulders and elbows and everything else. So, and plus, what is the likelihood in real life that you're going to be lifting something up behind your head? If you're going to be lifting anything up, every single time it's going to be in front of your head. So do military presses versus behind your head neck presses, or shoulder presses. The next one, I hate these. Anyone who's doing them, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you stop right now. Right meow. My wife hates when I say that. Right meow. But is good mornings. That's where you'll have a bar on your neck, kind of like you're doing squats, and you're bending over, and you go all the way down into like a 90-degree angle, and even if you bend your knees and your hips and you're using light weights and all that stuff, I still don't like it because, one, that's not a motion, like a way that you're ever going to move in real life. Like, I always like to do exercises that are going to help me in real life. At no point in time am I ever going to have weight on my shoulders and I'm bending over like that, doing that. No way. It'll never, ever, ever in a million years happen. If it does, there is some freak accident that just happened. But, and that just puts so much weight on you. And then what if you get too much weight and you lose your balance and you go forward and smash your face? So I hate good mornings. They're terrible. I'd much rather just do lower back extensions. If you're trying to build a strong lower back, do lower back extensions. And I think they're better for you too. Build more muscle. And then the final one that I really don't like doing is upright rows. Now, this one kind of like flies. I already know there's going to be a bunch of people out there saying, oh, I love upright rows. Okay, well, like I said, my video, my channel. So, is pulling it straight up. Now, this can be more of a natural thing to do, like, a motion that you would do in everyday life, picking something up and kind of lifting it up like that. But it pulls so much weight, just kind of pulling shoulders down and elbows down and wrists down and everything. It just feels very uncomfortable. And if something doesn't feel right, don't do it. Like, you're going to run the risk of hurting yourself, or even worse, injuring yourself. So I've said in many other videos before is hurt means it's uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable even, but you can still do it. And injured means you can't do it. So like, let's say, you can move your arm like this and it hurts like hell, you're hurt. But if you start to do it and you go, like, now you're injured. Stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. So that's rule number 1. Stop. But yeah, guys, so those are the 4 exercises I won't ever do again. And if you're doing them, man, I'd highly suggest not. I really would. Anyways, guys, if you like my videos and want to see more, subscribe. If you know someone who would find them interesting, share with them. Otherwise, comment and like. See ya.